the previous video, we have seen and explored the basic options that are available across the Microsoft Excel window. And now in this video, we'll try to add on more understanding about various other options that are available in Microsoft Excel, which are very much required for everyone to understand in order to perform day-to-day activities at work. Starting with, we will try to explore a file menu. We were trying to understand file is considered to be a menu. If you click onto the file menu, there are so many options here. I'll quickly explain what are all these. New button is usually used to create a new worksheet. If at all you're already working in a current worksheet and you wanted to go with a new blank workbook, if you see here, by clicking on this, it will generate a new workbook for which we use a new button. And if you want to open your existing files which you already have worked before, by clicking on the open button, it will ask you where is the file exists at the moment, and you just by giving a click onto that particular file, the file gets open. You see here in my Excel there are so many files created. These are all my previous files that I have. Either you can search by the recent files that you have with the date, or you can go to the folder tab and search for the location where you have saved your Excel file. It is easy always to extract the files which are recent through the workbooks, unless the file is very old and this file has been saved in certain folders which are pretty well aware. In such case, you can go for the folders tab. Then get add-ins is not much required now at the moment. I'll just go directly to save. Before you start working on any of the Microsoft Excel workbook, keeping in mind the power fluctuations, if at all you're working on a desktop, you should always go for a save button. First, save the document before you work. Sometimes it is possible that suddenly you close the Microsoft Excel window without clicking on save, and then what will happen, whatever the work you have done till that moment will get vanished. So better you always save your document before you start. Click on save, and from this particular option, choose where you would like to save the document. For example, I'll just click on browse. I would, for time being, I'll save it in my desktop. I would say demo file. I'll just call it a demo file at the moment, and then I'll click on save. The moment you did that, you see in the top, in the previous video, we have seen the file name by default in Microsoft Excel is book 1. Now that I have given the file name to it, it is now converted into demo file. Then further going to the file tab, you have more options like save as. Save as is usually used for the document which is already saved, and then you wanted to save the same document or the same Excel file with a different name or in a different format. In such case, you go, for example, let me click on save as. The same options would see like what we have in save, just that when you click on here, you can rename it. Let's say demo file 1 I wanted it, or if I don't want that, I can say under that you see save as type. By default it is Excel workbook. Now if I wanted to save it in a different format, maybe the old format of Microsoft Excel workbook like 97/2003 workbook format, I can save it as a template, or I can save it in any other format. So I can save it as a PDF. So there are so many formats that we have. I can even save it as a CSV file, DOS file, depending upon the requirement of this file, where you would like to extract this file in the future. You would be able to save the file in a different formats. In general, Microsoft Excel workbook is a common format where the Excel file will automatically will be saved as, and most of the cases in wherever the databases you work on, this file format is widely accepted. So this is very rarely used option for us. So I'm cancelling it for now. Then if you want to save your Excel file, whatever you have created, the content inside it, you wanted to save it as a PDF, you can click on this and you can directly convert to PDF here, and then the file gets saved as a PDF. Then you want to print it, provided your printer is connected and the page setups are properly done. So more about how to print Excel document and how do you make your page setup for printing will be discussed in the further sessions to come. Then if you want to share this document, if at all you're connected to the network and you would like to share this file to someone else, in the form of the Excel or in the form of a link or in the to the mails directly. Like this, if you see, if you wanted to share with some people, you can save it here through the cloud connections, or if you wanted to email, you can send it as an email, as an attachment to the email, you can send it, provided your system has got Microsoft Outlook configured to it. Then same goes to export again. You can export the file as a PDF or XPS or any other file type. If you wanted to convert the file into, you can use. So these are all regular options. You can close the Microsoft workbook by clicking on close. The current workbook which you are working on, that gets closed. The window would remain there. The window would remain to be there. It's just that the sheet that you're working on, that gets closed, and you can open a new workbook there. Get into the mode, and there is one more very important thing that you need to learn is options. When you click on options, there are so many settings of that Microsoft Excel comes in. If you remember, we were talking about quick access toolbar, which you can see here. If you go to quick access toolbar, currently there are 3 options added to it: save, undo, and redo. These are the by default quick access tools that will be added to the toolbar. Now suddenly I wanted copy to be there in the quick access toolbar. Instead of me going to anywhere else, I wanted to have copy to be there, and I wanted to have sorting as my option, custom sorting as my option. I'll add it to it. I can even say font color. I could also have font color as my quick access button. I'll click it. So now I have got 3 tools which are to be added to my toolbar. Now the moment I click on OK, you will see that my quick access toolbar is updated here. I've got custom sort option, font color option, copy button added to the quick access toolbar. The same additions or removals can even be done from here by clicking on this down button. Then just go to more commands. Then you can remove. If you don't need, or if you want to add something, you can add. Now I'm removing what I've added before. Click here and remove. Then again remove custom sort, and then remove font color. So this is how we remove the options here. Okay. So that's about your file tab, and we have also explored about how to save the document. And now the other thing that we can look at is there is an option called search option on the title bar of your Excel window. The moment you click onto that, you see that certain add-ins is the tab there. If at all you wanted to have, Excel usually have a lot of add-ins inside which are inbuilt within the Excel window. It's just that some of the add-ins are not activated by default when you install Microsoft Excel to your computer. Just for example, give a click onto add-ins and you see there are certain packs. Visual Basic Pack is available, which is generally called as Analysis Tool Pack, Euro Currency Tool, Solver Add-ins, Excel Stat Starter. At the moment in my computer, Analysis Tool Pack Regular and Excel Starter are already activated. It was required for me as I wanted to do some statistical analysis in it. However, Excel Stat was an add-on which I had to install from the external source. Otherwise, Excel Stat is not the tool which will be by default there in Microsoft Excel. But you have a regular Excel Stat, Solver Add-ins, Euro Currency Tools, and Analysis Tool Packs which are already available, and you can always select and add to your toolbars. I'll just click on OK now. I don't want to add anything else at the moment. Whenever you need something else to be added, you can always do that. Apart from that, you can even search the regular recent Excel files without even going to File and Open for the existing files to open. If you remember the file names, let's say for example here there is a file name called course plan. What I'll do, I'll just go to the search bar. I'll try to type COURSE course plan, and you see that the file by the name course plan is already there. Just give a click and that file will be open. See, the file is open now. I've just given a click onto that and the file is open now. Now that's not the file I wanted to work. I'll close this file. Okay, now again back. So this is how you can even search the recent files from here. Apart from that, if there is any content on your Excel sheet and you would like to search for it, Even within the sheet, whatever the content you would like to search, that is also possible. Say for example, I'm typing Microsoft is one word, Apple as in another word, and Intel is another word. There are three words which are typed here, and then I wanted to search in my document where Apple exists. So I'll just go search. I'll try APPLE Apple, and I would like to just click Apple search. Now you see this Apple is highlighted here, and if I want to replace or wanted to make some changes to that, all of that I can do by using this find and replace window. So that's how the search option would be required, will be useful for you for your regular usage. Just quickly exploring you various ribbons that are available. We were talking about home is a tab, and whatever the options which you can see here are called as home ribbon. Under the insert we have got so many options. These are all called as insert ribbon. Draw is another tab which has got the options which is called as draw ribbon. Like this, we have page layout, under which there is a ribbon. Formulas has a ribbon, data has a ribbon, review has a ribbon, view, help, acrobat, all of these have their own options, and each of this tab has got various options, and those options are called as ribbons. Now some ribbons have very limited options, like acrobat has got only 2 ribbons. Usually by default you have tabs only till help. Acrobat and Excel stat, which are visible to you here, will not be available in default Microsoft Excel tabs. These are the add-ons which I have installed, which is why it is visible here. In regular Microsoft Excel, you don't see these tabs, Acrobat and Excel stat. However, whenever you want more such tabs to be added, you can install Addins, and you can see that those tabs are created at the top. Okay, then we have the rows that we have. These are all called as rows in Excel, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on, and these are all called as columns. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. These are all considered as columns. Now people always keep asking how many columns are there in Microsoft Excel, the maximum number of columns that we can have in Microsoft Excel, and the maximum number of rows that we have in Microsoft Excel. Just press on Control button and press downside arrow. It will go to the end of the Excel. You can see how many rows are available. You can see that 10,48,576 rows are available in Microsoft Excel. Similar way, if you go to if you ask about the columns, because rows are in numerical orders, it is easy for you to count, wherein with respect to columns it's in alphabetical, so it's not easy for you to count. So what you do, just click one, copy it and paste across the end, and you select it. You see here at the bottom status bar that is a sum. The sum is 16,384. So 16,384 columns are there in Excel. I believe you're clear with the number of rows in Excel and the number of columns in Excel. So we were also talking about a formula bar here. Let me quickly take you through there. For you to understand that, I'll just take two numbers, 3 as one number, 6 as another number. So E5 has number 3 and F5 has number 6. In G5, I'll try to create a sum of these two. 6 plus 3 is 9, we know that. But then I'm trying to understand and explain to you how a formula are created in Microsoft Excel. You have to start by giving equals to. The moment you type equals to in a cell in Microsoft Excel, the computers understand that you are trying to enter a formula here. Now what I'll do, I'll just type sum, open the bracket, E5, comma, F5, which means it's an instruction for the computer to make a sum between the values that are there in E5 and F5. So E5 you have 3 and F5 you have 6, and the sum should be 9. Now if you see, in particular G5, you have got 9 as a value. But what actually is the value there? If you wanted to edit from 9 to 10, if I double click, I'll not be able to edit, because actually in the cell there is a formula, but what you see on the cell is an output. You can only see the output when there is a formula. But if you would like to know what kind of a formula is written to this, you have to see it in the formula bar. So that's why formula bar is useful, and formula bar will show whatever the values that you have in a particular cell. If it is a value, it will show as a value. If it is a formula, it will show as a formula. Say for example, if I go to 3, formula bar shows only 3. If I go to 6, it shows only 6. If I go to 9, it will not show 9, it will rather show the formula behind it. Hope that clarifies you. Then below you have a sheet 1 which is there. If I have to change the name of the sheet, I need to just give right click and rename. That's one way. Or I can give a double click, left double click of my mouse, and I say that it is highlighted and ready for rename. I'll just save it as demo1. So that is a file name I've given. And if I want to add more sheets, I just need to give a click on the plus symbol, which will create a new sheet to me. Click, there is sheet 2. Again, if I want to rename sheet 2, I would write demo2. This is the way you would rename the sheets. I wish these are the various options that we have learned today, and more options we will learn from the next video. Thank you so much.